Welcome back to The Founder. We have yet another guest, Hasini from Contagious Cravings. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much for being a part. And you know the sound Contagious Cravings. I just can't get over it. Please tell me your story.
Right. So I know the name itself sort of goes well with the pandemic, but it's not like a really new name that I came up with.
Okay.
It's actually a name that I had thought a couple of years back. It's always been like a dream of mine to do some sort of like a business related to food and like coffee, something sweet, right?
Okay.
So I think about 4 or 5 years back, I thought of this name out of nowhere. I was just trying to play around with the concept of something sweet, but yet that taste gets you hooked on to wanting to have it over and over again. So like the craving is so contagious. So I came up with this name and I quickly looked up and I was like looking, is there any business like that in Sri Lanka? And I was like, oh no, that name's not there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I guess with the pandemic, it gave me a bit of free time to start off with Contagious Cravings.
Oh wow, so you've actually had this idea for some time, you're saying? Oh, okay.
But I mean, I guess it's not really like the business that we started off. It was more or less a name that I wanted to have for a coffee shop.
For a coffee shop, okay.
Yeah, but this is the first step towards it.
Okay, that's something. That's a goal that you went after. Yeah. So when did Contagious Cravings start?
Well, literally a baby company. We started less than a year ago in the midst of the pandemic. So it was May 2020.
May 2020. And how has it been? I think that time a lot of people were trying to do something because everyone was at home. So food business was booming too.
Yeah. So I think one of the reasons why we started off was because of the pandemic, curfew, island-wide, and we really couldn't access a lot of stuff.
Exactly.
So then we started playing around at home with different recipes, and then so essentially we started off with biscuit pudding. So I started off playing around with different flavors and different recipes, and then my family started liking it a lot. So I thought, what, maybe I can just take that first step towards Contagious Cravings, and and the journey has been good so far. We've had a lot of positive feedback. Our cravers, well, we call our customers cravers because Contagious Cravings.
That's actually very clever.
So our cravers have been very positive and very, they've given a lot of love to us.
Okay.
So it's been really good.
So when you think about it, I guess the ingredients and getting things down during the pandemic and it was tough, and I guess the ingredients to chocolate biscuit pudding is quite simple as well, right? So tell me about what other products you have other than chocolate biscuit pudding.
Well, the fun part is, although it's chocolate biscuit pudding, we have about 9 flavors just for chocolate biscuit pudding.
Okay, wow. Can you name them? I'm very curious.
So we've made our own little, funky names. So I have one called Amma CBP, which is literally the typical Sri Lankan biscuit pudding. It's typically icing and butter. But I also I didn't want to stick to that Sri Lankan flavor. I wanted to give our own flavor and twist to it. So we have one that's called Simply Original, which is our fastest moving flavor. That's essentially just like a very simple dark chocolate biscuit pudding. But then we've played around with Milo. It's called Nostalgic Milo CBP because literally Milo is everyone's childhood.
Exactly,
you
it's very nostalgic.
Yeah, so we've played with names like that. We've taken the simple tiramisu recipe and added our biscuit pudding twist to it. So that's a tiramisu biscuit pudding. But the best part I think with our varieties are that we have extended it to cakes as well. We have biscuit pudding cakes. So it's no-bake biscuit pudding cakes. Of course, we've now started off to play around with the booze as well. So Bailey's is a big hit of ours. But apart from the biscuit puddings, we have no-bake cheesecakes and cupcakes. Hopefully, we'll be having more towards this year. So
wow, my mouth is just watering just thinking about it. So is this just you who's doing it? Do you have any help?
Well, with the main production of the food, yes, I'm doing it, but my family is very supportive. My sister has like the creative eye, so she helps me with the packaging. We try to keep it very unique and try to set it apart from the rest of the competitors because, as you know, it's highly competitive.
Yes, I was just about to say that CBP is there's quite a lot of CBP brands out there. What would you say makes yours unique?
Well, I think the main thing that made us stand out was the fact that we try to give the best quality biscuit pudding out there. I'm sure there's tons of biscuit puddings out there, but what we try to do is give an affordable yet quality biscuit pudding, giving the best quality products. I think that's what sets us apart the most. And like I said, the biscuit pudding cake. That really...
I've never heard of anything like that, honestly.
Yeah, so actually I made it for one of my friend's birthdays, just as an experiment. It was a tiramisu biscuit pudding cake.
Oh, so there's like cake and then tiramisu?
It's not cake, it's literally layers of biscuit pudding.
Oh, wow.
But it's like a cake.
Okay.
And it was a really big hit with her, and then we just started giving it a lot of publicity. We just posted on our Instagram page, and people really liked the concept. So we have so many people coming back to us just to get those variety of flavors of the cakes.
All right. So what's a marketing strategy you rely on? Is it social media?
Yeah, I think Instagram gives us the perfect platform to get the audience that we want. So we do a lot of promotions on Instagram, but I think we've had a lot of help from like food bloggers and certain social media influencers and certain public figures. We've just extended our samples to them. They seem to really love the the flavor and the product, and they've essentially given us their shout outs, and that's really helped us a lot.
Oh wow, that's really cool. And is this something that you've always wanted to do, Hasini?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, having a little coffee shop, has always been my dream.
Yeah.
It's something about it just makes me feel like, your family and friends could just come and just chill at a cozy little place, just have a cup of coffee and enjoy good dessert.
I know.
So that concept has always been, rattling in my mind, and we just thought of executing it.
Awesome. So do you see it going there? Do you see Contagious Cravings going towards that coffee shop, the cozy coffee shop?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I definitely see. I mean, our cravers are very, they are very receptive of the flavors, right? Very positive feedback. So I feel like, in a couple of years, we should definitely be able to reach that goal.
Okay. What has been the hardest thing, having your own business up to date?
I think the hardest thing is trying to set us apart, like you said, because it's so competitive.
Right.
Setting us apart and then really showing that our product is up to the quality that we're trying to show. That's been the hardest thing so far, I think.
And being a startup, obviously, there's a lot of challenges that come into play. Was financing any difficult for you?
Well, I think the good thing about the business that I chose was the startup is not that expensive because it's just on the ingredients, right? Because it's mainly no-bake stuff that we started off.
Exactly, yeah.
So I just funded myself initially, and I guess once we come to a state of trying to have a physical presence, that's where we'll need to really look at how we're going to invest it. But for the time being, I don't think the startup has been that challenging to fund.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you looking to go beyond the desserts at any point of time?
You mean like savory stuff?
Yeah.
I think my expertise lies on the
sweet side of things.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, I experiment with them at home, but I haven't really extended it to our cravers yet.
Okay.
You never know.
Hasini, we have a question for you, courtesy of our venue sponsor, the Colombo Cooperative. They're all about providing modern workspaces for companies of all sizes, whether big or small. And they would like to know what your favorite productivity hack is.
Right. So I guess it's been a bit challenging anyway to be productive because anyway I work, so I have to tackle with my 9 to 5 sort of work.
Right. Okay.
So, well, not really 9 to 5 because I work for the European time zone, but I guess being productive because I'm pretty much burned out with the work as it is. But to be productive, I guess it's gonna sound a bit cheesy, but I think music.
Music. Okay.
I just put music on the background. I just put it in the background, and I just don't feel time going and just focus on the orders. But I think if it helps, I think having your family for moral support, that's like the best. Like if I have to do orders till like midnight, my mom and my sister would be there helping me.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, just for moral support. Not to make the stuff, but
I can see your sister in the back. Yes. And of course, it is quite tough, obviously, to handle orders. So how do you do it? Like, is there ever a point where it was really overwhelming for you?
I think, most of the time it's overwhelming because I have to tackle, like I said, work and the business.
Right.
But I think my mom and sister make it very easy for me. And, if there is if I have to do orders on maybe like a POEL and it's a bit, or any other public holiday and, delivery is a bit tough, my mom would just take it on and she'll go do the delivery herself.
Okay.
Especially for the cakes, because at the start I was a bit worried because it's a no-bake cake, right? So I've been a bit worried sending it through the delivery provider themselves because I was afraid it'll melt, but it just stays on nicely. Regardless, my mom helped at the very initial stages. She still does. Even if my sister's at a meeting, she'll just quickly finish it and help me with the delivery. So yeah.
Okay, and what is, of course, one piece of advice that you can give to young bakers, homemakers out there?
I think just if you have a passion to bake, if you want to turn it into a business, just go for it. I guess there's always going to be people, if it's like a highly competitive market, just for your, I think for your well-being, they'll say maybe, think otherwise. I just think don't think of the negative opinions that are coming. Just focus on the positive vibes and just go for it.
That's some good piece of advice for sure. And the show is called The Founder, as you know, and I pretty much ask this question from everyone. If you ever had the opportunity to sit at dinner with the founder of your liking, locally or internationally, who would it be?
I think, well, a lot of people might say this, but Nigella Lawson.
Okay.
She has been like, ever since I was small, I would watch on Travel and Living how she would cook, and
I adore her. She's
right.
Amazing.
It just looks so good, and she keeps it very simple yet elegant. It looks like a restaurant quality dish. So I guess international, she would be my go-to person to have dinner
for
with.
Sure. And I mean, I just love the way she talks as well.
Right, it's so
a
calm.
Dollop of ice cream.
yeah, she's the best. Yeah, definitely.
And anyone in locally, if you have anyone in mind?
Not really. That might sound a bit bad.
No, it's not at all.
Not. I don't think from like the from the baking side, I wouldn't think anyone.
Right.
But I guess like entrepreneur wise, maybe Otara. She's done a lot.
Right. Yeah.
That's someone I think definitely I'd like to have and learn a few tricks.
For sure. Yeah. Now that you're your own boss, would you ever work for someone else?
I am currently working for someone else.
Okay, you are working for someone else.
But yeah, I think down the line, I'd like to focus completely on Contagious Cravings, but I think it's going to take a bit of time.
Okay.
But yeah, I think it's a bit of, you have to learn to juggle both of them, but it's all right.
It's been a great time talking to you, Hasini. Please tell everyone where they could check out your menu or even like place an order with you on Contagious Cravings.
Right. So primary way of contacting us is either through Instagram or Facebook.
Okay.
Or we have our number on Instagram, so you could WhatsApp as well.
Right.
Hopefully, we'll be having our products. So we have little jars as well. We're hoping to place them in Colombo. So stay tuned. You might actually be able to get it.
There's some surprises coming up.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. I will definitely be one of those people, like right in front of the line for sure.
Looking forward
Need to try your biscuit pudding.
Definitely.
All right, so there you have it. That's Hasini from Contagious Cravings. Thank you so much, Hasini, for joining us.
Thank you.